The Cooper Molera Adobe was given to the National Trust by Frances Molera in the 1970s as part of her estate, and we were excited to receive it because it's an important part of California state history and played a significant role at the time that Monterey was the state capital of California. Since the Cooper Molera Adobe came to the National Trust in the 1970s, we were very fortunate to have a partnership with California State Parks, which stepped forward and offered to manage the Cooper Molera Adobe as part of the Monterey State Historic Park here, as part of their Adobe collection. So we've been working in partnership with California State Parks for more than 30 years. Contract with California State Parks, however, will end in 2016. And given the current budget difficulties in the state of California and with the parks system, we've been told it's very unlikely that they will be able to renew that contract. So we've been exploring with the citizens of Monterey a different approach to the Cooper Molera Adobe that we believe will make it an even more vibrant part of downtown Monterey.
This is a remarkable property, 2 acres in the middle of downtown. And yet there's a tragedy to it, that it's here, but most people don't know it's here. You walk by it, but for lots of reasons, it's closed. It's primarily operated by volunteers who do just a fantastic job, but it doesn't open until 10 in the morning. It closes at 4 in the afternoon, and you can't see the entire property except by appointment. There's lots of it that's just not open, and the fiscal reality is there's no money. It is a property operated by California State Parks, but not owned by them, and they're struggling to take care of their own properties, so the resources aren't there. And yet it's in the middle of downtown Monterey. And it's right at the top of Alvarado Street. It's in this remarkable place.
When our contract ends with California State Parks, we need to have a business model in place that will allow us to maintain the physical stewardship of Cooper Molera, but also to maintain and enhance the programming. And the proposal that we're putting forth is designed to do just that. The addition of commercial uses to the property are really designed to create a positive economic stream that will allow us to maintain and enhance Cooper Molera Adobe for generations to come.
We hope that we reestablish a more robust event space. A place for civic events, a place for weddings, a place for music events, a place just to come be. When street fair is on Tuesday evenings, we want the gates open. We want to come in and have a picnic, maybe we get a little music going, but come be a part of the place and open it up, not close it at 4 o'clock, and let people wander through and not have to call and make an appointment 2 weeks ahead of time. Make it a part of the fabric of downtown.
We're envisioning a restaurant in the Spear warehouse and retail uses here in the corner store. The historic barns, which are just a few feet away from us, will be restored and brought up to code in terms of the seismic needs that they have, available for concerts and for weddings, for poetry readings, for group meetings. The museum properties, the Diaz and Cooper Adobes, which are just over my left shoulder in our vision, will remain as museum properties. They'll be open to the public for interpretation and public education, and we're envisioning a rotating exhibit of many of the wonderful collection pieces that came with the estate when it was given to the National Trust. And the last thing I'd like to say is that the popular programming that has been done here for years will continue, and these are the programs for 4th graders, for the Christmas in the Adobes and Art in the Adobes. We know that these are treasured programs here in Monterey, and we very much want to see them continue, or something very similar.
On the sparse and dusty roads of Old Monterey in the early 1800s, the Cooper Molera Adobe was a grand and luxurious property. It was built by John Rogers Cooper, a ship captain from New England who settled in Alta California. Monterey was a part of Mexico, and Cooper was a successful trader of hides, tallow, and sea otter pelts. He married into a prominent Californio family, the Vallejos. His new wife, Encarnacion, was the sister of Mexican General Mariano Vallejo. The property was expanded over 3 generations of the Cooper and Molera families. The property is surrounded by thick adobe walls and includes gardens, barns, a warehouse, and livestock pens. For almost 200 years, the property has housed many diverse residents, and many businesses too. Honoris Skoll and his family operated a successful bakery and general store here for many years. His son-in-law A.A. Manuel's name is painted on the wall on Polk Street. It honors the clerk and later owner of the store. Frances Molera was a direct descendant of John Rogers Cooper, and the property belonged to her estate. Upon her death in 1972, it was given to the National Trust for Historic Preservation.
The National Trust is a nonprofit organization chartered by Congress in 1949 to save nationally significant places and to engage the American people in preservation of our cultural resources. The National Trust owns a portfolio of 27 important places across the United States, including the Cooper Molera Adobe, where we're standing right now, the Woodrow Wilson House in Washington, D.C., James Madison's Montpelier in Hunt Country, Virginia, the Glass House in New Canaan, Connecticut, which is a very different type of property, a modern architectural masterpiece.
The property was in dire need of restoration. The state of California stepped in, offering to restore it and operate it as a museum within Monterey State Historic Park. The park also includes the Custom House, First Theater, and other important buildings. But now we've come to an era where public revenues for parks, cultural, and historic programs have dropped dramatically. Expenses and deferred maintenance costs continue to rise. Cuts in state park funding has led to limited operations, reduced programming, shuttered windows, locked gates. American historic sites that have prospered have found new, creative ways to engage people. A new plan for Cooper Molera aims to do just that. New sources of revenue will open up this beautiful property to more people for more hours. It will provide for infrastructure improvements to keep it here for generations to come. It will fund educational programming and museum operations. It has the potential to revitalize all of downtown Monterey, along with the other great success stories and the City of Monterey's downtown specific plan. This new chapter of the Cooper Molera Adobe is still being written. The project will continue to refine the concept and seek input from the local community.